Hello, Heidi. How are you this evening?
Hello, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. So, what time is it for you today?
3 p.m.
Okay, so you're 1 hour you are 1 hour ahead of me. No, PM in the afternoon?
Yeah,
Okay,
afternoon.
great. Okay, it's 2 p.m. in the morning for me, so very early in the morning for me. But I am,
Wow.
but I'm so happy that you're here. Very happy
You
that you're
are
here.
you are night owl.
Yes, yes, I am a night owl. I right now I have to do the late night shifts because I have so many other things that I'm doing during the day. Not every day, but some days I'm busy during the day, so this works very well for me. But I'm very happy that you're here, and I hope that you will enjoy the lesson that I have prepared for us. I enjoyed creating it, and I hope that you will enjoy participating. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the lesson.
Hmm.
And let me know when you can see the story, Uncle Harry. Are you able to see the screen, Uncle Harry?
Yes, I can see it.
Fantastic. So your objective today will be able to increase your vocabulary while understanding a simple idiom. It was just what the doctor ordered. Have you ever heard that idiom before?
What idiom?
It was just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, somehow I can't remember it.
Okay, let's just see if we can figure it out as we read. The first thing is that I will read it completely and then I will invite you to read. Uncle Harry sat with us at the edge of a conical rock as we were drowned in our thoughts of the fascinating scenery of mountains. The silence was broken when I spoke and said, Uncle, I will take a piece of the Tutti Frutti flavored candy now. Pinky shouted, No, Sam, you always take the Tutti Frutti. Today it's my turn to have my favorite choice. Uncle Harry recognized immediately the impending argument and quickly brought it to a halt. Uncle Harry said, I have a lot of candy today for each of you. Uncle Harry cautiously placed his hand into his pocket and withdrew a multitude of colorful candies in different shapes and flavors. Sam and Pinky screamed with joy and giggles as their favorite candies were placed carefully on the mountain floor and glimmered in the sunlight. Sam and Pinky were about to rush for the candy when Uncle Harry blurted out, Wait! I need a strong hug from each of you for my sweets. Sam and Pinky, with outstretched hands, reached for the neck and the waist of Uncle Harry. Sam squeezed his neck, and Pinky wrapped her tiny arms around his waist. Uncle Harry was feeling quite satisfied and hungered for more when the school bell rang in the distance. Oh, Uncle, school is about to start. We must go or we will be penalized for being late. Uncle Harry says, Go, go. We can meet again on tomorrow. Take care, Sam, and take care of your little sister Pinky. The two kids go flying off, flailing their hands as they both ran toward the school. Uncle Harry began to wipe his eyes as a voice reverberated in the surroundings. Ruhi was staring at him with a quizzical look on his face. The scene before his eyes were running over. Uncle Harry? Uncle Harry, where were you just now? Were you lost? He asked. No, not lost, Uncle Harry replied. I was just remembering some painful parts of my life, but it was also a fantastic portion of my life, alive in my memory. One day an earthquake erupted, and my two little friends, Sam and Pinky, perished. Looking very depressed, Ruhi said to him with loving eyes, Tell me more, Uncle Harry. What else happened that dreadful day? Uncle Harry continued. As the building collapsed, I knew I had lost two sweet friends, Sam and Pinky, forever. Standing and looking over the mountain top, with eyes filled with tears, Uncle Harry almost lost his balance. Ruhi grabbed his left arm with his right hand to brace his stance. Ruhi said, "Look at me, Uncle Harry. Sam and Pinky are coming up the mountain now. Remember, Uncle Harry, you probably saved their life. Remember, remember, please remember. It was because they were late for school that day that they are alive today." Still holding his arm, Sam and Pinky are now at the top of the conical mountain. Sam grappling for his neck and Pinky wrapping her tiny arms around his waist. A warm smile covered Uncle Harry's face as he sobbed and wiped the tears from his eyes. It was just what the doctor ordered. Uncle Harry once again broke the silence and said, "I wish I had candy for all the children, but it was not meant to be. Promise me, Uncle Harry, that you will only reflect on the good memory of what is a heartbreaking incident." As they all stood in a loving pose, Uncle Harry said, "May you all rest in peace and have a best place in God's house." Uncle Harry clutched Sam and Pinky's hand and they left the mountain top together. All right, so that is my little story with the slang, just what the doctor ordered. What do you think the phrase "just what the doctor ordered" actually means? Okay, when Pinky and Sam came up the mountain,
Yeah.
he thought they were dead, but they
Yeah.
were not dead. Did you understand what they were doing on the mountaintop?
Actually, I think they already died. Uncle Harry saw only kind of hallucination.
That's exactly what he was having a remembrance, but that particular day that the two children, Pinky and Sam, were on
Hmm.
top of the mountain, he was giving them candy and they were late for school.
Yeah.
And because they were late for school, there was an explosion at the school and the building was damaged and a lot of the children died.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good thing that they were still at the top of the mountain so they did not perish.
Mm-hmm.
And when Ruhi came to see his uncle at the top of the mountain looking very sad, he was hallucinating. He was remembering, but he had forgotten that Sam and Pinky were still alive. So when they ran up to the mountain, he was very happy and he said, "This is just what the doctor ordered." And that made him happy. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Alexandra. How are you?
Hello, I'm
It's
fine, thank you.
great. It's so good to see you. We just finished listening to my reading the story. Now, the two of you will read the same story and we'll ask questions as we go along. Is that fine?
Mhm.
Okay, great. And let's see. We will have. Oh, we just lost. Okay, Alexandra, you're the only one that is here at the moment. I just think we just lost a student. So we will start with you being number one. Alexandra, would you read?
Number one, um, uh-huh.
Uncle Harry.
Uncle Harry sat with us at the edge of a conical rock as we were drowned in our thoughts of the fascinating scenery of mountains. The silence was broken when I spoke and said, "Uncle, I will take a piece of the tutti frutti flavored candy now." Pinky shouted, "No, Sam, you always take the tutti frutti. Today it's my turn to have my favorite choice."
Okay, good. Can you tell me what do you think is going on right now?
um, I think um, children
Mm-hmm.
are arguing over 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 the sweets, like
Yes,
whose
that,
turn it is to
that
take
is
the candy.
correct. They're arguing who should get to take the first choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are you familiar with this word, conical rock? Do you know what that is?
Mm.
Do
Maybe
you know?
conical is like a shape.
Yes, it's like a shape. And what shape do you think it might have?
Oh, I know what it is in Russian, but it's difficult to explain.
Okay. It looks like a cone.
Yes.
Can
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see?
yeah.
Okay. Like the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
It's the conical, like cone. That's the
Mm-hmm.
conical rock. Okay. Great. Great job. Now we'll go on to number. May read again. Read the second part.
Uncle Harry recognized immediately the impending argument and quickly brought it to a halt. Uncle Harry said, "I have a lot of candy today for each of you." Uncle Harry cautiously placed his hand into his pocket and withdrew a multitude of colorful candies in different shapes and flavors.
Great. Now, what was going on in that section? What is going on here? What did Uncle Harry do?
Um, he re- resolved the
Very
conflict.
good.
The conflict.
He resolved the conflict. And this word impending, what do you think this word impending actually means?
I don't know, but I can guess that maybe coming.
Yes, that is something that is about to happen. So he recognized something was about to happen, which was an argument. An
Mm-hmm.
argument was about to happen. And the word cautiously, what does it mean?
Uh, like to be cautious, like to be careful. Mm.
Excellent. Yes. Very nice. And the word multitude. What does multitude mean?
Um, Again, I can only guess. Maybe a handful.
Okay. Multitude means many.
Ah,
It's a
many.
lot. Multitude is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So in his pocket he withdrew a multitude of colorful candies. So within his pocket he withdrew many colorful candies in different shapes and flavors. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, hello Alexandra, how are you?
Hello,
Alexandra, how are you?
I'm fine.
It's nice to see you. I'm going to have you read as number 2.
Which one is the number two?
You will be number 2.
Okay.
And Rafa, you will be number 3. 3. Okay. Alexandra, would you read, please?
Yeah. Um, Sam and Pinky screamed with joy and giggles as their favorite candies were placed carefully on the mountain floor and glimmered in the sunlight. Sam and Pinky were about to rush for the candy when Uncle Harry blurted blurted out, "Wait, I need a strong hug from each of you for my sweets." Sam and Pinky, with outstretched hands, reached for the neck and the waist of Uncle Harry. Sam squeezed his neck and Pinky wrapped her tiny arms around his waist. Uncle Harry was feeling quite satisfied and hungered for more when the school bell rang in the distance.
Very nice. This word is giggles, like
Giggles.
giggles. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
do you know what's going on in this passage that you just read?
Um,
I know you didn't read the first part, but maybe you can
No.
tell. All right. Well, there are two kids, Sam and Pinky, are little kids, and they're on the top of the mountain with their uncle, with Uncle Harry.
Hmm.
So they're screaming with joy and giggles because Uncle Harry has just given them some candy and he placed it on the mountain floor. What do you think the mountain floor is?
Maybe the like the grass or something like that.
Very good. It would be the ground. And it glimmered in the sunlight. What do you think the word glimmered actually means?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's glamour.
Okay, glimmer and sunlight. Do you know the word sunlight?
Yeah, it's like the I don't know how to say it. Like
Do you know what a
Shining.
yes, if you had a diamond maybe, it would
oh yeah.
glimmer and blurted. Uncle Harry blurted out. What does the word blurt mean from the context of this sentence? Sam and Pinky were about to rush for the candy when Uncle Harry blurted out, "Wait!" What does blurt mean?
He was like keeping them like in peace or something like that.
Well, blurted means to
Like,
say, he shouted. Blurt means to yell out. Uncle Harry yelled out, "Wait!" So he blurted out. To blurt means
okay,
to yell.
okay.
And what about outstretched?
Oh, like
Outstretched.
they opened the arms
Very
to
good. They opened up their arms to give him a big hug. And the word squeezed?
um. It's like they would. It's like kinda well when somebody gives you a hug, but like
Mm-hmm.
actually like they give you like a really strong hug or something like that. Like
Very good. That is correct. And wrapped? Wrapped.
like
When you're giving a hug, what do you do with your hands and arms?
you you do it like you wrap your hands to like you put it together.
Very good. You put your arms around the waist. And hungered. What does the word hungered mean?
It's maybe it's the past of hungry or something. I don't know.
Very good. It's something that is wanted. Uncle Harry was feeling quite satisfied and hungered for more when the school bell rang. He's not hungered for food. What is he hungered for? What is Uncle Harry hungry for? He,
Um,
he's hungry for them to wrap their arms around him and give him another squeeze.
okay.
Okay, Rock Pop, will you be number 3?
I'm sorry, I think I missed blurted out.
Blurted out. Blurted out means to yell out when he says, "Wait!" Uncle
Huh?
Harry yelled out. Uncle Harry blurted out. It's the same as yelled out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's what Uncle Harry did. He blurted out, "Wait!" Okay? All right. Alexander, would you read number 1? No,
No, you
Rafa.
tell me. Yeah, proper.
Rafa.
Number 3.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sam. Oh, uncle. School is about to start. We must go or be penalized for being late. Uncle Harry, go, go. We can meet again on tomorrow. Take care, Sam, and take care of your little sister Pinky. The two kids go flying off, flailing their hands as they both ran toward the school. Uncle Harry began to wipe his eyes as a voice reverberated in the surroundings. Ruhy was staring at him with a quizzical look on his face. The sands before his eyes were running over.
Okay. Do you know what you read? Do you understand what you read?
Yeah.
Okay, I know that you didn't get the first part of the story. This word is school. School.
School.
Penalized.
Penalized.
And this is your.
You. You.
Seen. Seen.
Sing.
Sta-
Sing.
and staring.
Stirring.
Staring.
Staring.
Great. Now let's look at your vocabulary. Flailing. What do you think flailing means in this sentence? The two kids go flying off, flailing their hands as they both ran toward the school.
Flailing could be similar to wave their hands.
Yes, very good. Similar to waving their hands. And reverberated.
Reverberated
Reverberating.
is
Mhm.
when the sound of the lights makes this the same noise again and again, reverberating
Good, like an
over a
echo.
school, like an
Like
echo.
like
Yeah.
hello, hello, hello. Good. And quizzical. Quizzical.
Quizzical, I think, is related with mooking or something like that when you are pulling your legs or. Mm,
Hmm. Quizzical would be something like when you put your hand underneath your chin and you think,
yeah.
hmm. It's
Mm.
almost questioning. Okay. Now, Alexandra, would you read number 1?
Uh-huh. Uncle Uncle Harry. Uh-huh. Uncle Harry, where were you just now? Were you lost? He asked. No, not lost, replied Uncle Harry. I was just remembering some painful parts of my life. But it was also a fantastic portion of my life alive in my memory. One day an earthquake erupted and my two little friends, Sam and Pinky, perished, looking very depressed. Ruy said to him with loving eyes, "Tell me more, Uncle Harry, what else happened that dreadful day?"
Okay. Do you understand what you're reading, what you just read?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this word erupted, what does it mean?
Um, like simply happened.
Yes, something happened, but what happened?
Mm,
I mean, it's more than something just happening. It's more than that. But it was like, boom, a big
yeah,
explosion. Something huge erupted. Something broke apart and caused chaos and disruption and destruction. Fantastic.
can
What
we
is it?
use erupted with, for example, financial crisis?
Yes, you could.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in this case, it's not financial. It's an earthquake.
Yeah, I was just thinking about like
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. What does that mean?
um in this case, but it was also a fantastic portion of my life alive in the, maybe I don't know, the size.
Yeah, it could relate to size, but fantastic. In this story, I was just remembering some painful parts of my life, but which is
Like
it was also a fantastic portion of my life. So there's a contrast there. So this is something that is not painful, but what?
wonderful.
Wonderful. Fantastic is wonderful. So it's fantastic, Alexandra, that you were in class today. It is totally fantastic to have you, Alexandra, and Rafa. I am really so happy and to have you all in this fantastic class. All right, perished. What does the word perished mean?
Looks very familiar, but I don't remember. Like
Okay, so if an earthquake erupted, one day,
Vanish, no?
yes, it means that they died or they disappeared. They went away, perished. Okay, depressed.
Like to be in a bad mood.
Great. It is to be in a bad mood. And dreadful.
Dreadful, the same as horrible.
Very good. The same as horrible. Excellent. Alexandro, number 2.
Okay. Uncle Harry continued as the building collapsed. I knew I had lost two sweet friends, Sam and Pinky forever, standing and looking over the mountain top with eyes filled with tears. Uncle Harry almost lost his balance. Ruhi?
Ruhi.
Oh, Ruhi grabbed his left arm with his right hand to brace his stance. Ruhi said, "Look at me, Uncle Harry. Sam and Pinky are coming up the mountain now. Remember, Uncle Harry, you probably saved their life."
Okay, do you understand what you read?
Yeah.
Okay, what does the word collapsed mean?
Maybe like fall down or something.
Great, it does
What?
mean to fall down. Brace.
Um, brace is like something close to you, or
To hold you up, to keep you from falling. Okay. Stance.
stands. Someone's posture.
Very good. It is a position in which you're standing as your posture. Awesome. Okay, Rafat, number 3.
Remember, please remember. It was because they were late for school that they are alive today. Still holding his arm, Sam and Pinky are now at the top of the conical mountain. Sam grappling for his neck and Pinky wrapping her teeny arms around his waist.
Tiny.
Tiny.
Okay. Do you understand what you just read?
Yeah, they saved themselves because mm, they were they were late for the school, and right now they are in the top of the conical mountain.
Very good. And what does the word conical mean?
Conical is about conic, is a shape with a circle on
It's like
on
a
the
cone,
on the
like a cone-shaped mountain, like a cone, shaped like a cone.
like a cone.
Very good. Okay, Alexandra. This is the last sentence, the last part of the passage. Alexandra?
A warm smile covered Uncle Harry's face as he sobbed and wiped the tears from his eyes. Uncle Harry once again broke the silence and said, "I wish I had candy for all the children, but it was not meant to be. Promise me, Uncle Harry, that you will only reflect on the good memory of what is a heartbreaking incident." As they all stood in a loving pose, Uncle Harry said, "May you all rest in peace and have a best place in God's house." Uncle Harry clutched Sam and Pinkin's hand and they left the mountain top together.
Okay, great. And what happened here in the last section?
Like, Uncle Harry is regretful about the number of candies he has because he wishes he could share those candies with everybody, with every children, but And I don't know, they address Uncle Harry,
Mm-hmm.
like saying that don't dwell on those bad thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and keep in mind only the good moments of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so and they just left the place.
Okay. What happened at the final part, Uncle Harry is very old.
Mm-hmm.
So he's actually forgetful. He has forgotten, and he thinks Pinky and Sam are dead. But the day that he had that candy on the mountain, they were late for school. When
Mm-hmm.
when the mountain erupted, it destroyed the school. Sam and Pinky were saved because they were trying to get the candy from their Uncle Harry. In the last paragraph, Uncle Harry is saying, I wish I had had candy for all the children at the
To save
school.
everybody.
Then everybody would have been saved.
Mm-hmm.
So Rihu is asking him to promise to only remember and reflect on a good memory of what could have been, what was that he did have his Sam and Pinky. So what is the word sobbed? What does the word sobbed mean?
Sob is like, like
Very good. And what is that called? Crying?
yeah, it's a crying, but
It's a different kind. It's uncontrollable.
yeah, in a more emotional way. Mm-hmm.
Like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And reflect?
To reflect on, to remember,
Very good. To think about and remember.
to evoke
And,
something in your memory, like
well, not to remove it.
no, evoke.
Okay, to evoke something, yes. To pose.
Um, uh, Stance, the
Very
same.
good. It is a stance. Great. So you can see sometimes you could use one word in many different ways, and a good writer will use different words to mean the same thing. Any questions about the story? So I'll tell you what happened in the story. Uncle Harry is a very old man, and Sam and Pinky, I guess, are his grandchildren. And almost every day they went up to the conical mountain or the conical rock, and he would give them candy before they went to school. On this particular day, they were late because Pinky and Sam were arguing over who would get to pick the candies first. Then Uncle Harry tells them to give him a hug and hurry down to school because the bell is ringing. But as the bell is ringing, an explosion erupts and the building is uh, 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 damaged and everyone is perished on that dreadful day. The building collapses. Then Ruhu comes up to the mountain because Uncle had gone back to the mountain on another day to meet to meet Sam and Pinky, and he was reflecting on the day that the old school had been demolished, or what was the word they used? Well, I can't find the word that they used, but we'll go on. All right, so here comes the exciting part. I've given you a picture for all of the vocabulary that is highlighted in the story. Now it is your turn to talk for 1 minute about these items. Okay, Alexandra, you will go first. We'll talk about conical rock, and Alexandro, you will talk for 1 minute about the pose, and Rafat, you will talk for 1 minute about it. And I will summarize what I think you want us to know. Whenever you're ready, Give or take. It doesn't have to be quite 1 minute because I can't type and write and watch the clock. All right, Alexandra, it is your turn. Talk to us about the conical rock. You can tell it to us from the story, or you can make up a short story. Okay, would you like for me to go first? I'll do one first. I'll talk about reflect.
Mhm.
Okay. One day, Uncle Harry was at the top of the mountain and he was reflecting on the day he thought Sam and Pinky was lost to him forever. In his reflective thoughts, he thought about all the fun times they had had together and how much he would miss going to the top of the mountain at the conical rock and sitting with them as they giggled and laughed. Oh, I should have been typing that, but okay. So you'll do something like that, okay? Alexandra, are you ready?
Oh, I don't know much to say about conical rocks. um, um, should it be just a made-up story or the picture description?
It's whatever you want to tell us. I just want you to get involved with speaking.
Okay. Um, this picture depicts several conical rocks. Um, hmm, they um,
Okay,
at the first glance, these rocks make an impression of sand figures, at least for me. They are located somewhere in the desert. They are a little bit shady, and maybe.
that's good. Thank you.
Okay.
Alexandra,
Yeah.
pose.
So I need to like say short stories or
It's whatever you
about
want.
house,
It's
whatever I want.
whatever. The objective is to get you to speak. The whole objective is to get you to speak about the pose. Okay?
Oh, but I can
Okay.
say like in this way, like pose like someone is on a
Yes,
photo shoot or something like that.
you
I can
can.
say it like that. Okay.
Yes, you can.
Um the supermodel was um walking on the runway, and as as she was um as she was posing, and the photograph, um, I don't know, they were taking her pictures in some poses, and she don't really want to pose because uh, she was nervous or something. I don't know. I'm lost.
Okay, we'll go to uh, Rafat. Rafa, your
Yeah.
turn.
2 years ago, I went to visit Pompeii. Pompeii is in Italy, and there were a volcano there that was erupted for 2,000 years ago. There you can see at the Pompeii ruins a lot of people cremated with different poses. One of the most interesting is two guys that are embraced together, giving them a big hug. They are calcinated. They were calcinated by the volcano when this eruption went went this eruption went take place.
All right, I did mine. So now it is Alexandra. You are going to do one. 2 is going to be Alexandra and Rafa. Hey, Alexandra, what is this one? Alexandra?
Yes,
Alexandra?
I'm here. I was muted.
Okay, you're doing the one that says sobbed. Sobbed.
Mm. We see a child who is, can I say, sobbing? I'm not sure about the preposition. Over or about?
I just want you to speak. We're
Uh,
not looking at grammar. I just want you to practice speaking.
who's, well, I will take over. Who is sobbing over candy taken away from him? This child has a sweet tooth, and his parents were really worried about how is it when cavity. So this child has this with, and his parents were worried about the cavity he could get. So he didn't get what he wanted. That's why he was in a real pain.
Gracias. He was
Okay,
entrenando.
Alexandra, brace.
Yeah. Brace. Well, we manipulate our memories to brace for, I don't know, future hardships.
Okay. Rafa?
The golf player was training for the last 2 days about his stance. At first, he sobbed. His stance. At first, he sobbed, but later, she looked after his posture.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I
What I want you to do, I don't want you to think. I really don't want you to spend too much time thinking.
Okay.
If it doesn't come to your head, just stop. I want you to think only in English without trying to translate, and I can tell if you're pausing, you're thinking in perhaps your native language. And that's what I want to discourage you from doing as you learn how to think and speak English. You're going to think in English. I'm to think in English. That is what I'm doing. Okay? Collapsed. Alexandra.
Mhm. Several days ago in the south of Japan, a hurricane happened. The aftermath of this natural disaster were lots of collapsed buildings and many victims buried under the walls uh, of ruined houses.
Alejandro,
Yeah.
dreadful.
Um, there was a earthquake. Okay, I mean, um, and it was a lot of um dead people. It was very dreadful, and all the people lost their material things, their houses, and people was really sad about that.
Rafa?
Yeah, the building was collapsed in less than a minute. There were a lot of damage, a lot of perish, many people dead, and it was dreadful. People was looking after their own buildings don't be with a lot of perish.
Okay. And this is going to be. This is going to be 2 and 2. And this is going to be Alexandra.
Fantastic.
Yes, fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Um, uh, Yesterday, I went on a ferry tour around the New York City, and it was a fantastic trip because on board the ship, I met people from all over the world, and I had a chance to take lots of pictures of skyscrapers, which are located in different boroughs of New York City.
Great. Alexandra? No,
Yeah.
Alejandro.
Yeah.
ALE.
Depressed.
Okay, depressed, yes.
Okay. I took the train to go to see my friend, and he was depressed because of his father passing away, and all um all his family was depressed too, because they lost his his support and his sweet father, and um, one of the I don't know, um, and I talked to my friend to make him feel better about it, because he was crying a lot and just thinking too much in that moment, and I guess that's it.
Okay, Rafa? Flailing.
Yeah, flailing. Yesterday I was in a rental car and I start a car when suddenly I has an accident with the puppets that were flailing outside. It was so horrible for me, but only the puppet deflate, and it was only a bender fender.
Called a fender bender.
Bender fender. Bender fender.
Okay, and this is going to be Alexandra. And the quizzical is going to be 2 and 3. Okay, Alexandra.
To reverberate.
No, I think you have, reverberate. Yes. It's like, hello, 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 hello.
Echoing, like an
Yes.
echo.
Yes.
Oh. The story took place between conical rocks, which were in the shape of a circle, and when you find yourself in the middle of this circle and say something loudly, your voice reverberates from the rocks.
That's good. Alexandra.
Yeah. What is the word? Quizzical?
Quizzical.
Quizzical? Okay. Is that like when you think about that? I'm thinking about the word quizzical. Oh, okay. After I told my boss what I really think about him, he put like a quizzical face.
Your turn.
Yesterday I had a meeting with my boss trying to find out what was impending, perhaps I make a mistake, impending, was
Whispering, I can still hear you.
sorry. What was impeding my project was impending in the last weeks. Sorry. Oh.
Thing.
Sorry.
Okay, Alexandra, cautiously.
Cautiously. Mine is
Cautious.
cautious.
Yes, cautiously.
Mm. I watched a movie recently about a professional hiker. This movie is called 300 and something hours. I don't remember the exact number of hours. So he was so confident in himself that he was not cautious enough when
Let me get you started. Oh yes, enough.
he was
Let
not.
me
Oh,
Yeah, let me stop you there because I have another class that starts in about
oh,
2
okay.
minutes. I want to thank each of you for coming for this session today. I hope that you learned a great deal. I enjoyed the session. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed putting it together. Thank you so much for participating. I hope that you will each choose to follow me, attend many of my
Mhm.
classes, and looking at the clock, I have 2 minutes. I'll give Alexandro first, the
Yeah.
final words. 30 seconds for the final word. What would you like to say about today's class?
I really enjoyed the class and I learned a lot.
Okay,
And because I really need to learn a lot of vocabulary, like that kind of more formal words.
okay.
And
All right. Well,
that's it.
if you need to learn more formal words and incorporate those words into your conversational speaking, I am a conversational English coach. When you have
Okay.
activities such as what I just did today with the images, of course, the expectation is that you will try to use the vocabulary that I am providing, but as you give your definitions, you can introduce additional vocabulary.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see, Rafat, final words.
Yeah, very interesting. The time pass very quickly, but
Yeah,
I hope to join another class with you as soon as.
fantastic. Please
Thank you
take
very much.
please take the time to find the uh, YouTubes that I have created. Please leave feedback if you have questions. If you'd like to see me do something differently, I will certainly try to entertain that and bring those to class as well. And Alexandra, I have 30 seconds for the final word. What would you like to say?
Just thank you.
Okay, the pleasure's mine. Take care, everybody. Hope to see you soon.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye.